into the next week. Ryan Tannehill, Phillip Rivers, quarterback matchup. How about this one? To A.J. Brown over the middle, and then he seemed to be surrounded by Colts defenders, but his speed didn't care. 69 yards for the touchdown, and I mentioned his speed. He would travel the entire field, going 100.8 total yards on the play. To go that far and not get caught, you got to be running pretty fast. I don't need NFL next-gen stats to tell me that. Titans take a 14-7 advantage. But then, oh yeah, Tim, Derrick Henry plays for the Titans, and he was a beast in this game, wasn't he? Look at that touchdown run there. First rushing touchdown of the half, but it would certainly not be his last. Here, bunches it outside from 1 yard out. I mean, dude is just a whole problem for opposing defenses. Look at this one. All kind of space, and as big as he is, it's still hard to get a good handle on him. 31 yards on that run. And then breaks some more tackles for another touchdown. His third of the half. He had 178 yards in the game. Fifth player in the last 20 seasons with 100-plus rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half. Titans led it 35-14 at the break. But the Colts would mount a comeback. They're down 38-20. Rivers. T.Y. Hilton. Single coverage up top. First TD of the year for Hilton. 2-point conversion failed, so they're still down 12, 38-26. They go for the onside kick. And Brown not only caught it, but he ran in for a score. So the Titans going to win it 45-26, and they improved to 8-3, sole possession of that division lead there in the AFC South. All right, so Tim, as I mentioned, Derrick Henry was, again, a beast running that game. But what is it about the entire Titans running approach that allows him to dominate like that?
Well, I think Arthur Smith is doing an excellent job with that offensive line. And then that offensive line that has, been playing backups because of injury has done an excellent job getting Derrick Henry going. That's the thing for him. You need to get him started, and then people want to shy away from the contact that he kind of inflicts throughout the football game. This is what I mean here. Going to run a kind of a lead zone play to the right. Look at the block by left guard Roger Saffold. That little reach block there to get the defensive tackle on the ground creates a huge lane, and then Ben Jones does a nice job of getting up to the second level. Now you have Derrick Henry running with momentum before contact, and he's hard to bring down. Now it's a power play to the other side. Nice down block by Saffold. Look at the hole you have as they pull the guard around it to lead up. You have a hat on a hat, and again, you've got Derrick Henry running with momentum falling forward. And then how about this? Jeff Swaim, backup tight end. David Quisenberry, backup tackle. Do a great job of picking up the run blitz. That gets your fullback leading on a safety, which again, gets Derrick Henry going with momentum. And so I just think they're playing with a third string left tackle, Michael. And so I think at some point when you see other teams make excuses about, hey, we're not running the ball, well anymore because we're injured on the offensive line. Well, it hasn't been an excuse for the Titans. They're doing it with a variety of players, and they're getting their big, talented running back going.
Hey, first or third string, you still got to coach them up, and clearly Tennessee's doing a good job of that with that offensive line. Tim, still more from you in a moment. Right now, over to Kenny.
The United States is nearing 14 million coronavirus cases, 275,000 deaths, and both numbers are rising. So it was little surprise the NFL faced multiple game-threatening situations. What was to take place on Thanksgiving between the Steelers and Ravens is now set for Tuesday. What did take place between the Saints and the Broncos was something many folks thought should have been called off. The Broncos lost all their listed quarterbacks this week. One had the virus, the others were considered high risk for their close contact. So the Broncos showed up to play with no quarterback. The only greater handicap to an offense would be getting forced to play with no football. Just have the offense go through the motions. We're all doing that from time to time these days. Denver did have an emergency quarterback available, a former college quarterback turned practice squad receiver. You're up, Kendall Hinton. This is the year 2020. So here we go with almost no time to prepare. Kendall Hinton in there, his first appearance. First quarter, 3rd and short. He's rolling, gets banged at the end of it. Broncos would struggle on offense throughout. Next Broncos possession, Hinton steps up. Almost picked. Wasn't a horrible throw. Broncos go 3 and out in their second drive. Under 3 minutes left in the second. Broncos down 7-0. Got running back Phillip Lindsay in the Wildcat. lost the ball, and we're going the other way. The Saints' Quan Alexander picks it up. They drag him down to the 13. Here come the Saints, second and goal from the 2. Taysom Hill didn't do much throwing, but does that a lot. Runs it on in. The Saints lead at 14-0. Next Broncos possession, 24 seconds left in the quarter. Hinton picked by Janoris Jenkins, and he'll go the other way to the Denver 41. Hinton 0 for 7 with a pick in the first half. Broncos the first team without a first half completion since the Broncos of 2011, Tim Tebow. Saints would tack on a field goal. They let 17-0 at the break. Broncos first possession out of the half, second and 13, down 17-0. Hinton got that to work. Noah Fant, his first completion of the game. 2 plays later, it's second and 10. The fake, little roll, but it's picked by C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Hinton goes 1-9, just 13 yards, 2 picks. Broncos, the first team with more picks against them than completions. The other one, Ryan Leaf and the Chargers back in '98. The Saints win it 31-3. It was unusual.
Well, I was disappointed on a couple levels in that our quarterbacks put us in this position, our quarterbacks put the league in that position. You know, we count on them to be the leaders of the team and, you know, leaders of the offense. And those guys made a mistake, and that is disappointing. You know, obviously I haven't done a good enough job of selling the protocols to them, you know, when they're on their own. So, you know, part of that could fall on me.
I mean, maybe it could have been moved, but at the same time, maybe, you know, the league, you know, just make an example of us as far as, you know, us not doing the things we needed to do in that particular room, in that quarterback room. Obviously, guys didn't follow their protocol. So for them to see that, I guess they, you know, felt like they had to make an example. So at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is, you know. Just got to keep pressing forward as a team.
Well, the Broncos were in unprecedented territory with their quarterback situation. Was not ideal, clearly, for the offense. None of the 3 players who ended up taking direct snaps were able to muster more than 47 yards of total offense. Let's get more analysis from Tim.
Yeah, Tim, a lot to absorb on this Sunday slate of NFL games. What was your biggest takeaway from Week 12 so far?
Yeah, my takeaway is right there, where Kenny was just talking about, you know, the Denver Broncos and the situation they were in. They basically had no chance to win that football game, and it's, you know, really not any fault of Kendall Hinton's. He's put in an unwinnable situation, and it really is going to impact the rest of his football team. And I think, you know, it's probably just something that not just I should take note of, but the rest of the league should take note of, in that the NFL said prior to the season that when a position group gets wiped out, it doesn't mean they're going to cancel your football game. They're not going to do that. And so, you know, you see teams around the league kind of going with the designated survivor philosophy in certain position groups, you know, having a quarterback and separating him from the rest of the quarterbacks, maybe not meeting together, not standing around the other quarterbacks during practice. If this is not a message to the entire league that you need to be doing something like that so you don't find yourself in a position like the Broncos where you're signing a wide receiver off of your practice squad to try to play quarterback and really not giving anybody else in your organization a chance to win that week. Look, I don't know what will get your attention if that doesn't. And so, look, I think that has to be the biggest takeaway from this week.
Yeah, I mean, the protocols have been in place for a while. They've been evolving as the season goes, but everyone's known them. And the Broncos clearly in the quarterback room did not adhere to them.